glittering international playground of Senreds offers the vacationer total excitement. I'm really gonna need this trip. Maybe it'll help me forget a few things. Sky, why aren't you home? Maybe I should call him. No, I'm not going to. Oh, thank God.
Spencer, bring that anti-shake case in, will you, when you come in?
Baby.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here. I've been waiting for you all night.
Hey, you've been crying?
Oh, God, this has been the worst night of my life.
Oh, no, the worst night of your whole life. Oh, my poor baby.
It's true.
I'm sorry. Well, what happened? What happened? Tell me about it.
I went to Sid's Tavern and everybody was there and I thought it was a surprise party and then it was horrible and then I came home and I had this big fight with Geraldine and I threw her out of the house.
You threw Geraldine out? Good Lord, how come?
Can I get you something before you retire, sir?
No, not for me, Spencer. You want anything, honey?
No, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you up there, okay?
Okay.
The role of Jinx Avery is now being played by Susan McDonald.
You think you're going to be able to sleep tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I'm so tired. Everything that happened at Sid's Tavern is just running around in my brain like a squirrel in a cage.
Well, I have the feeling we were expecting a little bit too much of that meeting.
I know, but I just kept hoping that Raven was going to break down and admit that she knew all along that Skylar had something to do with Gunther's death.
No. I didn't expect any true confessions, not from Raven.
Just wishful thinking, I guess.
I'm just worried we may have made a tactical error.
Why?
Oh, bringing up all that stuff about my getting knocked over the head. I mean, we don't know for certain Skylar Whitney was responsible for that.
Well, I do.
No, it's just guesswork, Nicole.
No, I honestly think that Skylar wanted Gunther to bleed to death, and the only way was to get you out of the way.
Tell me, what was his motive?
I don't know. Who knows? It's probably some sort of friction between them that nobody knew anything about. I just want to stop thinking about it. The whole thing is driving me to distraction.
Well, let me give you something else to think about then. Another kind of friction.
What?
Something tells me that Nora and Mrs. Goodman have not been hitting it off too well.
Well, that's true, but I've been trying to ignore it, just hoping it would go away.
Don't think it will. Mrs. Goodman tells me that Nora has been saying some vicious things. Has she said anything to you that might fall into that category?
Well, she is a bit of a gossip, yes.
Oh?
Well, I'm just going to have to make it clear to her that I don't want her to make any more insinuations.
About Jinx Avery?
Yes. Oh, among other things, anyway. Jinx has her sights on Derek Mallory.
Yes, she does. Even so, I'm not so sure that's a very good idea, considering the circumstances.
Why not? Wouldn't a loving relationship be the best thing that could happen to her at this point?
I was thinking about Derek, the effect on him. Anyway, we really don't know what's going on there. I just wish I knew what was going on in Nora Fulton's mind.
Well, who cares? Guess what's going on in mine?
Who is it?
Johnny.
Johnny who?
Johnny Gentry.
Oh. Yes, hi. Come in. Let me turn this off.
Gee, I hope you haven't forgotten me already.
No, of course not. It's just that, I wasn't expecting you.
Who are you expecting?
No one.
Hey, you don't mind that I stopped by tonight, do you?
No, of course not. It's just that, I don't know what you want.
Well, I was hoping maybe you'd offer me a drink or something.
Sure, if that's what you'd like. Is a scotch all right?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Why don't you, sit down? This? Is that okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Now, you didn't answer my question fully. Besides a drink, what is it that you want?
I don't know. Well, usually when I meet a girl, she expects me to come around and, I don't know, be kind of friendly.
Oh?
This is a real nice place to be friendly in, too.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Very nice. You know, I wouldn't even mind spending the night here instead of in the studio on that cold floor. It's just awful over there.
That's rather abrupt, don't you think?
Well, there's no sense in wasting any time, is there? Hey, you weren't offended by anything.
No, I'm too busy being amused. But as I look back on things, I don't remember giving you any signals.
Well, maybe, but it happens to me so often that I guess I just kind of take it for granted.
What a shame. You must be just snowed under with invitations constantly.
Yeah, I am. I mean it. You know, it can become a real pain in the neck sometimes.
Must be quite a burden to bear.
You mind if I tell you something?
If you can't help yourself.
You're probably the prettiest girl I've seen all week.
Well, coming from such an expert, that's quite a compliment.
So you do like me?
How could any girl resist you?
Well, then.
But Johnny, listen, I think you're very attractive, and you're charming, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. I mean, if you were to stay here, I would have to sleep on that windowsill at the studio.
Well, I don't understand that at all, but... Well, if you feel that way, I guess it's okay with me, too.
I thought that you'd take it that way.
Oh, heck. I think it's better to really get to know somebody anyways, you know, long-lasting relationship, build it up slowly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's much better when you know somebody a long time. Maybe next week?
Sure. Next week.
Look, Nora, you're just going to have to understand that this couldn't be helped. This Detective Tyler's been digging up my past. I don't know why, but he knows that I work for the Bowies and that you and Gunther were employed there, too.
You idiot! I suppose you told him that Gunther and I were lovers, too. Practically man and wife.
I said nothing of the sort. Anyway, how could I when most of that is in your imagination? This may come as a blow, Nora, but Gunther would have never married you.
Don't you dare say that to me. I know better.
All right, if you say so, Nora.
Now, this better not get back to the Kavanaughs. That's all I care about. They'd better not find out about me and Gunther.
Oh, of course. They might suspect that you don't have their best interests at heart. Now, that would never do, would it?
If you only knew.
Oh, I know, Nora. When it comes to troublemaking, you get the grand prize.
The grand prize for me will be to see that marriage on the rocks. And I'm going to drive a wedge right in the middle of that blissful little relationship. You wait and see if I don't.
No, she didn't say a word about it to me. Okay. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Bye. Dee Dee? Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what, Mitzi?
About Julius asking you to marry him. I think it's wonderful.
Mitzi, how did you know that Julius proposed to me?
Cliff.
Uh-huh. And he probably heard it from Calvin.
You see, I really like that move. You tell Calvin, but you don't tell me. your roommate, your confidant, your best friend.
Mitzi, I really didn't want to talk about it just yet. For one thing, I haven't given Julius an answer.
All the more reason why you should have come to me first, so I can give you advice.
Now, why didn't I think of that? What is your advice, Mitzi?
Gee, I don't know. I mean, I know you like Calvin.
Oh, Mitzi, I don't want to talk about Calvin. Calvin and I are just friends. How many times do I have to say it? I don't get involved with married men.
Well, then I don't see what there is to think about. Maybe you should marry Julius. He's very attractive, he's very accomplished, and he's gonna make a lot of money.
I do like Julius. He's a good man. He's definitely the kind of man that any mother would be proud to see her daughter bring home. And if I let him go,
Sounds like you've already made up your mind.
But, Mitzi, I don't want marriage to interrupt my career.
Well, I'll tell you something, Dee Dee. Sometimes I wish marriage would interrupt mine. When are you gonna give Julius your decision?
I'm going to see him tomorrow.
Oh, hell.
Well, how's the patient?
What are you doing here at this hour?
Well, I came to tend the sick, of course.
Well, thanks,
They
but...
told me you got a hospital. Sorry I wasn't able to come over and bail you out.
Yeah, well, you can help me right now by getting out of here.
What? You mean you have no words of welcome for an old friend who's come to divert and entertain you with tales of mystery and intrigue?
I'm sorry, Calvin. I'm just not in the mood for stories right now.
Okay. Have it your own way. All I wanted to do was see how you were feeling and fill you in all about the bloodstained shirt. Hey, but if you're not interested, it's okay.
What? Hey, Calvin, wait a minute. Come back here. Come on in.
You sure you're okay?
I'm fine. I just have a slight fever. I'll be okay pretty soon. Okay, will you go on with this and tell me what happened?
Okay, anyway. The surprise party at Sid's Tavern tonight turned out to be quite a fiasco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look. Mike and Cliff laid the whole thing out for Raven, all about the 2 watches and Sky's possible involvement, etc., 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 etc. Well, she didn't buy it for a minute. She stormed out of the place in a blind rage, screaming slander and cursing everybody in the room.
Calvin, I really didn't think that setup was going to net Gavin much help.
Yeah, well, I still think it was worth a try.
Yeah, well, I don't understand what all of this has to do with a bloodstained shirt.
Patience, I'm getting to that. Anyway, I got this brainstorm, see? That we should go over to the dance studio with Gavin, and he should show us exactly what happened the night that Gunther got killed.
Well, what did you think that would do?
Well, I'm getting to that, okay? So anyway, you know that this guy, Jim Dietrichson's got this acting school over there. So he played Gunther, Gavin played himself, and they danced around a little bit. Finally, they got to the point where the gun was actually fired. Bang! Dietrichson falls on the floor and lays there for a minute. Then Gavin turns him over, and he's got red blood stains all over his shirt.
What?
They use something called a blood bag. They put fake blood in this little rubber pouch, and when you press the spot, you get a realistic-looking blood stain. Now, how's that for a piece of theater magic? Get it?
Calvin, I'm sure this is really a fascinating story, but maybe when I'm not feeling so miserable, I'll be able to give it some serious thought. Right now, I'm lost.
You know, you do look really awful. You must have a fever. I better call the doctor.
Hey, no, that's not necessary at all. Look, it's my own damn fault. I guess I did something pretty stupid.
So what's different from your usual frame of mind? I think I'll get a refill. What was it this time?
Well, instead of coming home and going to bed like the doctor told me, I decided to pay somebody a little visit.
Don't tell me, let me guess. Mrs. Raven Whitney.
Yes, that's right. And we had a very interesting conversation about Bobby Gerard.
Bobby Gerard?
Yeah, Bobby Gerard.
It's dreadful. It was just dreadful, and it was such a shock because she planned the whole thing. Geraldine masterminded the whole thing.
It's incredible.
And then we got to Sid's Cafe, and all those people were standing around there like a bunch of vultures.
The nerve of them. You know, I think I may just end up suing them, or maybe I'll end up having that smug DA thrown out of his cushy job.
Stupid people. They were all standing around judging like it was some sort of a kangaroo court. And they were making dreadful accusations about you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Don't you worry, baby. They'll get theirs. I'm going to see to that. There are ways, you know.
And the worst part of it is that Geraldine is in cahoots with them.
Yeah, dear, sweet, lovable old Geraldine.
And then I got home and Damien Tyler was here.
What's that?
When I got to the house, he was waiting here for me.
Again, what did he want this time?
Skylar, you know what? He was asking questions about Bobby Gerard. And he said that she wasn't really here to rob us, that she was trying to help Gavin Wiley. And that's why she came here to the house to snoop.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was a plant from the cops. Or from the DA's office, maybe. You know, they'll stop at nothing to get Wiley off.
I think we should forget about the whole thing.
No, I'm not going to forget about it. I'm going to get revenge, baby. You'll see. Don't
No,
you worry.
no, please don't make a fuss. I just want to forget about all of them and everything. And I want to go to Switzerland. And I want to see the Alps. And I want to breathe that fresh, wonderful air. And just maybe I'll never, never, never come home again.
something? Jinx, I can't hear you.
Miles, I had such a horrible dream. And the worst part of it was when I woke up, I realized that my nightmare was better than my reality.
Well, don't just lie there and think about it. Read a good book or see a late movie on TV or something.
That won't do any good. My mind will keep coming back to it. Miles, I have to see you.
That's not possible.
Miles, you said that you make house calls. Why don't you make one to my house?
That's only in case of emergencies.
Well, what do you think this is?
No, I meant a physical emergency, something that is life-threatening.
And that's where you're wrong. You know what I've been thinking? I've been thinking that the worst part of this whole thing is the waiting. That it's much better just to get it over and done with right away.
Please, now, don't talk like that.
Miles, please, I need to see you. Please, I want to talk to you. I'm really scared.
I'll see what I can do. Bye.
She wants you to come over there, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's having a bad attack of nerves.